And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Minecraft. All right, the process over here is almost done. Got almost all of these converted. I did put, I think, six ultimate speed upgrades in each one of these, so they process pretty fast. And now it's just processing the last that it has in it. So I want to use this wall o resources over here as basically a supplement to my system. I don't want to pull all of that into my system because that would be a little crazy, I think. A little crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a system that pulls resources in if we get low on the pulverized process that we have. And we're going to need quite a bit of stuff. And we're going to use colored Fluix cable to really separate out the process. And it'll make it look really, really good. Okay, we have a couple big jobs that are finishing up here. I made a whole bunch of pulverized obsidian because we only had one left, so I made another 8,000. Which used a bunch of obsidian, and then we pulled some in, which was nice. Over here, this system kicked on and it pulled 8,000 in, or it pulled it up to 8,000, and yeah, worked really well. So we're going to do a very similar system using the level emitters and all that kind of good stuff. So first, let's get like 30 level emitters. And there's 30 level emitters, and I want some buses. I want, a few import buses. I need redstone cards. I'm going to grab some acceleration cards. And we're going to use colored Fluix cable. So let's look at Fluix cable here. So we're going to use some lapis to make blue ones. So this is glass cable blue. So we're going to grab a stack of these should be fine. And then we'll use, what other color should we use, Flower? One other color.
For
the ore system. Doesn't matter what color it is.
Have you used pink?
I haven't used pink. I knew that was going to be, I already had searched it on the bar. So let's grab a stack of pink. So we have blue and pink. What's nice about these is you can put them right next to one another and they don't link up. What they do is they link up to the uncolored Fluix cable. So that is a way to keep those two separate. Really, really nice system for doing that. So while I'm doing this, I want to turn my ring of magnetization back on. We're going to go down here. This is finally done. The void miner is still off. So I've got a few import buses back here already. So we're going to see which ones that we're going to need. I might just want to put them on all of them just because. Let's see if we can get to this level. Okay. Now, yeah, a few more. And see, that is iridium and that's mana infused. We don't use either one of those. So I kind of want the 3 going on the back and these 2 up here. So these 3 and these 2 should be all that I need. The other ones, we're going to need 1 way up here. And let's put a torch up here so it's a little bit brighter. There we go. It'll light us up a little bit. So each one of these is going to get a redstone card. And that will make it so they don't. So if I do one of these, yeah, shift click puts the redstone card in. it just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to open every one of these up. I think that one has one, that one has one. I think the gold, yeah, I think this gold one, yeah, see, we want to take out those, put a redstone card in, because I was pulling gold. Let's see, iron is right smack in the middle right there. I was bringing some in before, and now, see, that is charged Certus. I think that one is my other one that I want to. Not an import bus. I want a redstone card. Okay, now those are redstone carded. I would like to put in 2 acceleration cards. I don't want to put in too many because pulling stuff in really, really fast will just empty the drawer and not actually gate what we actually want. So, see if we have enough cards for this whole process. Because 2 acceleration cards will pull in like a stack at a time. Maybe it's a half a stack. It might be a half a stack, but it accelerates. So it pulls in half, and then a half, and then a half, and then a half, and it's just super duper fast. And the other thing we're going to want to do to this system, and I can already tell we're going to need more acceleration cards. So let's get a couple more sets of those. And I lost my place. Acceleration. So the other thing I have crafted in between episodes was a drive specifically for draconium, and I need to set that up before I set this system up, because we're gonna rapidly increase the amount of draconium that we have in a system. And before that happens, I'd like, maybe we did have enough, just enough acceleration cards. That's awesome. Okay, so they should all be accelerated a little bit, not a whole lot. But the other thing you're going to want to do is, instead of redstone mode always active, we're going to do active with signal on all of these. So 2 clicks on all these. And once it's set up, it's set up. You don't ever have to mess with it again. So the tedious part is setting it up. And once it is, you're good to go from there. So Flower has been busy decorating the cafe. Looking forward to revealing it.
Yep.
All right. The tough part is the more tedious part is figuring out which block is which going around here. So that's the tough part. All right, so let's use the blue cable to connect all of these. We're not going to hook these up just yet. Nice grid of import buses, and they can import all of the things that we need. Okay,
All of them.
Now we want the pink cable behind those, and this is where your level emitters are going to go. The level emitters will dictate when to start importing. rather than just importing everything all at once and just inundating your system with ore. If you do a craft that has, let's say, a lot of iron, your iron internally will deplete, and this will start pulling iron for you. Now, the really tough part, getting in here and getting these level emitters all set up. So you want to kind of point at the outside square here and get the level emitters up and running. Okay, let's get in here. Let's do these middle ones. Get to this side. And let's make sure we don't overdo it. So you should have a level emitter behind all of your import buses. I think that is good. Okay, look at that. One level, we use exactly 29 level emitters. Awesome. Now, before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, I'm going to grab this 4K storage that I've got set up here. We're going to go U, and we're going to, let's make sure we have some quartz glass, because, you know, I always forget about that. So, do U, and I need some Fluix dust. It's got to craft the Fluix crystals, and then it'll craft the dust, and that gives us the 4K storage cell. We want to format this on our cell workbench with draconium dust only. Put the dust back, and then we want to name it. I always try to name the ones that I format. So dragon dust is the storage. And then let's use the IO port from our network to the drive, all the dragon dust. 1537 dragon dust, draconium dust. And then we got all of the different storages in here, so we're just going to add that. These are the 16 megs. These can actually store like 64 million of each one of the, you know, the formatted items. So it can store a lot of stuff. All right, let's get back downstairs and try our best at making sense of this as best we can. So the first one is draconium dust. So we're going to put this in here. We're going to set up draconium dust. Emit when levels are below limit. Because we have these as redstone active with signal, we want to activate it when it's below the limit. And let's set up the limit to like 20,000. Okay. So this will emit when levels are below 20,000. It should emit right away once we hook it up to our system. So we've got the Fluix cable already run over here, and once we hook it up, it should start pulling draconium ore. So if we grab one of these, we're going to need to be able to start processing this stuff. And I don't think my enrichment chambers are exporting draconium ore at all. Nope. Neither this one nor this one is exporting it. So there we go. Now we're able to process. We only get 2 per craft or per enrichment, unlike the 4 we get from other things. But we have plenty of ore. Even getting 2 each, that's 64,000. That's, you know, 128,000 draconium dust potential right there. Not too bad. So going on and moving on, the next one is dimensional shards. Well, these, you can only process these with a miner. Similar to how I did this, you can only process these shards in a miner. So you can't like put those through an enrichment chamber. As far as black quartz, I really don't need a whole lot of this. So this is the very center of this side here. So this is going to emit when levels are below black quartz. We're just going to do like 1,000. We don't need a lot of black quartz. And we already have a bunch of ore. And let's see, how do we process this? Crusher, furnace, pulverizer. We could double it, but then we'd have to smelt it again. I think, well, yeah, I think if we just straight up smelted a bunch of this, we don't use black quartz for very much. So can I export black quartz ore? I'm going to take this one, input on the top. This is a redstone furnace. So let's grab some Fluix cable and do an export bus with a couple acceleration cards and some black quartz ore. Do that, and it should immediately start processing black quartz, which should get us over that 1,000 mark. And in order to, you know, facilitate this a little bit more, I'm going to just run it through just to make sure we've got quite a lot going here. And that should boost up our numbers really fast. But we don't really use all that much, so I'm not anticipating having all that much deficit. And we will work on the dimensional shards in a bit. I think this is nickel. Yeah, so let's look at nickel. Pulverized. Okay, pulverized nickel. We have 17,000 of it at the moment. So let's go pulverized nickel below. Let's do 10,000. So if we use another 7,000 nickel, this will kick on and start pulling nickel in for us. Okay, the next one is platinum. And we want platinum below. Let's do 20,000 of platinum. We use quite a bit of platinum in some respects. Yellorium. We've got 17,000 yellorium. So let's go to that one. Yellorium. If we go below 10,000 yellorium, go ahead and pull when items are below limit. So that shouldn't turn on. Even though we have plenty of material, we don't really need a whole lot. So next one is aluminum. We really don't use a lot of aluminum. So I'm thinking, even though we have a lot, I think 1,000 is plenty. I gotta make sure. Below.
Hello?
Below. Nope. I'm just saying below, not hello.
Oh.
Next one is osmium. Osmium. We got 27,000 osmium dust. So let's go over think it's right here. Osmium. Let's do 20,000 osmium. Emit when below. So you can set up, you can set up your limits however you wish. The next two, actually the next three, let's do resonant. So this is a resonant ender ore. Way better to use that than ender pearls when you need resonant ender. So we're going to do this resonant ender. I want like 5,000. So emit when levels are below 5,000, and it'll pull from this chest or from this drawer into my system when it's below 5,000. And since it is below, it should pull it in until it meets that. And then now redstone, destabilize redstone. I actually don't have any of this in my system. So this, same with this, 10,000 as, oh, that was 5,000. Well, yeah, let's do 5,000 on this one, just because. And then with this, we don't have to, again, grind up our redstone anymore. We can go over here. Where's my redstone? There it is. We don't have to grind that up anymore. We can set this to output destabilize redstone ore, and then should be able to make that work, because way more efficient using the ore, because that gives us exactly a bucket. If we look in the magma crucible, it gives us exactly a bucket per ore, so it's way faster to use that. Glowstone, lo and behold, same thing. I'm going to take the glowstone off of there. We're going to go down here. This right here is energized netherrack. This is that glowstone that we have. So when energized netherrack is below 5,000, we want that to turn on. And we're going to transition the glowstone that we have over here, right here, yes, to output the energized netherrack, which is way more efficient. So I'm going to put that in there. Now we should be at some ore. So there's ardite and cobalt is next. Well, I want to use ardite ore and cobalt ore instead of like ingots. I just want to make sure we have ardite on hand, because that basically means we've got ardite in the system. So let's set that to like 2,000, because we're using it to automatically craft the plates. And the same with cobalt. Let's do this cobalt, just 1,000. I just want 1,000 cobalt. We don't need a whole lot. And this should are below, okay. So those are those two. Now we have charged Certus quartz. So if we do Certus, this can be a really high number, because we already have a whole bunch in the system. So charged Certus quartz, when it's below, let's do like 50,000. We could even do like 100,000, but I think 50,000 is probably a good number, because it will pull a whole lot. It'll pull it pretty fast. And that is basically how you set this up. So I'm just going to go along the next row, and then the second row, and then just set up your system to, input these items. What is this? Lead. Okay, that's good. And then once the system is up, you can flip that back on, and you know the void miner will constantly keep your supplies in order. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this up in between episodes. I got a couple more rows to go, actually 3 more rows. So we finished that one and all of these. So these crystals up here, I'm gonna use, instead of putting those in my system, I'm going to use storage buses, because the system will still see those crystals. So it's that one, those 3, and that one. Okay, so this one here, and basically skip that in this top row. And then that one on the end. Right here. The regular Certus quartz I'm not gonna mess with. But that's all of those ready to go. And we can use blue cable to connect those. Like that. And the system will be able to pull crystals as needed. So if we build, you know, when time comes and we build like a big solar array, we'll be able to pull those crystals right out and craft with them, which will be really nice. But yeah, let me finish this up, and we'll come back next episode and potentially be able to have a finished cafe ready to go. All right, so that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.